I know, but I get quite nervous.
Hey!
Hello.
Hi, we're live and here. I'm hoping that I'll be able to see as people jump on. So I'm Stephanie Kennedy, creator of Lazy Parenting, and this is
Dawn Silver.
And who are you?
Your best friend, work wife.
This is all true.
Yes.
Yes. So my intent was to start a vlog, and I'm hoping to start it with 2 times a week, so Tuesdays and Thursdays. I figure in our life that might be doable because weekends busy with stuff, but Thursdays and Tuesdays, you and I, or one of those days a week, we'll see how often you want to come back. Maybe you won't enjoy this at all and you won't want to join me again on the computer. Otherwise, yeah, Tuesdays and Thursdays. 10 a.m. I think is a time that will work.
Yes.
Kids are off and we're wrapping and going. I got up at 5:30 this morning because the sun shines into my bedroom and wakes me up mostly.
You don't have blinds?
I do, but the windows are open. And
because you don't have air conditioning.
Correct. So not all of us are as lucky as you.
Yes.
And I remember I did a blog post about alarm clocks.
Yes.
About getting kids up. It was working really well. Nick's getting up on his own for his practice, but Zach had a 5:45 a.m. practice this morning, and so I woke up at 5:30 and I didn't hear anything, and I didn't hear any doors slam and things like that, which I usually do. And so I went into his room and he was still asleep.
Oh no!
And so I'm like,
oh no,
you have to wake up. And he's like, yeah. And so
we get to practice at 5:30 in the morning.
He rides a bike.
Oh, it's just in the pool. That's Houston.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So he rides over there. I can't tell if anybody. Oh, I know where I can look. Maybe I can look on here.
Yes.
And so my whole theory about alarm clocks obviously didn't work very well.
So he has one.
He does.
And it's set.
I looked at it this morning. I'm blind, so I tried to throw on glasses and stuff, but I did look, and I don't know, maybe it went off and he couldn't hear it. So I'm going to go on Amazon today, and I'm going to buy 2 alarm clocks, one for him and one for Katie, because I still have to wake Katie up.
Yeah.
But she's 9, but I figure she's ready for it. So I'm going to buy her alarm clock.
Oh, yeah. No. Yeah. I find it hard with the boys being in the same room, having an alarm clock. Like, Thomas has one, but Nate doesn't need the same one he needs. So to have 2 alarm clocks in one room for 2 different kids is a bit...
Yeah, they do. Nick has one up on his bunk bed, and then Zach has one beside his bed.
Oh, right.
And so my intent isn't to get, like, the one that Nick is one that I got, and it's really loud and really annoying. But my intent is to buy them little ones that can go up in their bed beside their pillow.
Well, that's what Thomas has. He has a Lego Batman one. And so it's like a little Lego toy.
But do they both wake up at different times?
Well, Nate doesn't need an alarm clock because he's up at 5:30 every morning.
Mm-hmm.
So, but Thomas, I bought him one because he wanted it, and I was going to try it out for his school. So right now, they have to wake up because they're in a day camp, so they have to be up by 7 in order for us to leave at 8:30.
Yeah.
But we haven't needed it yet because when Nate wakes up, he likes to then wake up his brother. Say, let's go downstairs and watch TV. Yeah.
Does Thomas care?
For the most part, no.
Okay.
Doesn't start a fight.
All right. Okay, so I'm going to let Dawn, I brought her on, moving along.
Yes.
I brought Dawn on to talk a little bit about how we kind of got together.
And
how we met.
Yeah. So we met through cheerleading because I think you've explained already that you have a cheerleading business.
Yeah, a little bit. That's where we are. That's why we're in this ugly office for now, which will be our studio.
Right. And so Stephanie was a teacher, and she coached at the school she taught at, and I was coaching cheerleading at my former high school in Vancouver. And we used to go to the same summer camps with our teams. And in 2001, we were at summer camp, and we've known each other for a few years.
How do you remember what year it was?
Well, because of when I had cancer.
Oh, there you go.
Because it all kind of leads into that.
Yep.
And so we've known each other for a few years because we both attended the B.SC Cheerleading Association meetings. And I knew that she was new to the scene, and she didn't have a cheerleading background like myself, who've been involved with cheer since I was 10 years old. So that's 32 years I've been involved with cheerleading. And
you're old.
I know.
I'm older.
You're still older.
So
I have that on you. I'm younger.
Yeah.
And so we were at cheer camp, and I had just I missed 2000's cheer camp because I was in the hospital, newly diagnosed with cancer. I had leukemia, And I was in the hospital for 11 months dealing with that. And so, of course,
I didn't know you during that period, though.
No.
I met you after that,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Otherwise, I would have been at the hospital with you every
I know.
day.
We weren't friends yet. And so...
That's sad.
I know.
That I wasn't there for that.
It would have been better. I agree. But luckily I had good friends who no longer live on the mainland or here that helped me then too. And so I went to cheer camp because the first thing after, getting out of the hospital, the first thing I want to do is go to cheer camp because I'm obsessed with cheerleading. And I took my high school team, and you were there with your high school team, and we had started chatting.
And Sarah, you're online. You were probably with us at PCA camp back then.
Is that Sarah or the other Sarah?
Sarah Wright. That's Sarah Reed.
Oh, Reed. Okay. Oh, Sarah Wright. Hi, Sarah.
Right, Sarah? That's who you are. I'm pretty sure. I see you and your baby all the time.
No, what? I'm confused. Sarah Wright? Like Sarah that lives in New York?
No.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
Sarah Reed.
Sarah.
Oh, she's before your time.
Right.
Steph Chan.
Yes.
Age.
Yes, that's right. So that's before my...
Sarah's laughing that we don't. So you never coached Sarah?
No.
Oh.
No. So this is Sarah Reed, right?
Yes.
Right.
I know who you are.
That's what I thought it was. But
Sonia's cousin.
Yes. So that's how I know. Sonia.
Yeah.
And I can't remember Martinez.
I still have my cheer shorts from camp.
Oh, cute.
I just remember you being boy crazy, Sarah.
You did tell me that about her.
I could
actually.
tell you. I think we were in Toronto somewhere on a cheer trip, and we had you guys all, and I just remember that.
She was crazy.
Yeah, but you were like
Teenager.
Yeah, teenager. Typical. Didn't date anybody. I don't think it just was like fun. Fun. You were fun. So much fun. Okay.
Yes, you had good memories, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I was at cheer camp, and we started talking because you had just lost your dad from cancer the year prior, or that year? The year prior, because you had Liz at that camp, baby Liz.
Yeah,
And so,
my dad passed away the spring before Elizabeth was born. So he had just found out I was pregnant. I was only like 3 months pregnant, and then he passed.
Yeah, and so we just started talking, and then what happened was I actually moved up to Richmond because I used to live in Vancouver, and yes, and I was not going to travel to Vancouver anymore to
Brain freeze.
coach my alma mater, high school cheer team. And so I wanted to start a new program over at Steveston High School because Steveston, because they have, they are legendary in their cheer program. And then I thought, oh, that's way too much work because you need a teacher sponsor and it goes on. And so then you found out I was moving to Richmond, and then you thought to ask me to coach one of the teams because you had two teams at your school. And that's kind of where it all started. I coached one team, you coached the other team, and then halfway through the year, we decided to take a team to Toronto for our PC Nationals, and we coached that together, and that was, 17 years ago.
That was a lot of cheer talk right now.
I know, I can't help it.
True. That's how we started. But then Dawn got married.
Yes.
Because I knew you. I came to the wedding.
Yeah, that 2 years later, I got married.
So, yeah, and then I had already started having children. And then Dawn started having kids.
Yes. You just had Zach in January, and then that's when I just got pregnant.
I was like an old pro by the time you had your first.
Thank the good Lord.
I was already on to my third.
Yes.
That's weird.
When I had my first.
Yeah, that's weird. I want to think about it that way. Like I have two, So I have a 16-and-a-half-year-old. That's my oldest. And then I have a 15-year-old boy, 16-and-a-half-year-old girl. And then we had babies at the same-ish time. I had Zach, who's January baby, and then you had Rue, who's in September.
Yes.
And so we were pregnant-ish together. Not really. I would have been.
No, because
I had the baby.
And I was like,
you just got pregnant.
2 weeks pregnant when you had.
Yeah. So I was on my third. Wow. And you had Rue.
Yeah.
Okay. And then.
Yeah. And then.
We coached with babies and we ran businesses with babies.
Yeah, because that's the best time to start a new business is when you have a brand new baby.
4 children between us.
Yes.
Yeah. And then we got pregnant together-ish with your second and my fourth.
Yes.
We
were about a month and a half apart.
Yeah, that's
at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then my son decided to come 4 weeks early. And so you were supposed to have a scheduled C-section on June 24th, and my baby was due July 25th. And then I had Thomas on June 21st at the year-end show.
I got to lie to everybody. Why wasn't Dawn there?
Yes.
Oh, she's okay. She's not feeling well.
Yeah.
She's having a baby.
Yeah.
I was running back and forth.
We had kids 3 days apart.
Yeah, so my fourth and Dawn's second. And then Dawn decided, hey, well, she's not crazy enough. She might as well have a third. And so then Dawn had her third.
Yes. Hi, Natalie. Hi, Janae. I like that I know these people too.
There you go.
Yeah.
And so between us, we have 7 kids. So I have 4 and Dawn has 3.
Yeah.
And we're done. We're not having any more.
Nope. I see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yes, and it does come. That light comes. It's so crazy and terrible at moments. Do you want to talk a little bit about Nate?
So
I feel like this is a story. So a lot of the people who are, hi Natalie, a lot of the people who are started to follow with lazy parenting have little ones. So Dawn and I, because we know so many of you from either teaching or from coaching, which is where a lot of you are all at that age. It's so exciting. Every morning I wake up and there's little baby pictures.
Or somebody newly is engaged.
Or somebody newly is engaged. Yeah. Wait till you see who it is. And so it's really exciting. And the craziness of it all, I mean, it is. It's crazy and it's hard. And I'm trying to write some posts about that so that people know, some tips and tricks to try and get through it all. But Dawn had a really, really rough time with number 3.
Mm-hmm.
Ruru and Thomas is difficult. She has a way better memory than me.
Yes.
So.
Riley was kind of colicky. It was 6 weeks.
Oh, she threw up every time she ate.
Yeah, she
I
had
remember that
reflux thing, so she threw up. Yeah, every time she nursed.
Yeah, and that was hard on you because I remember you were so stressed out about it because you were worried she wasn't getting enough food.
Yeah.
Because literally every time she nursed, she spat up. And she was at we were at a different location. We had an office, and you would bring Riley to work every day with you. And I remember that.
Yes.
That was hard.
Yeah, that was so much laundry that created.
She should have just left her naked.
Well, no, my laundry. Because she spat on me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can't go naked.
Yeah, so Riley was that, but other than that, she didn't really cry a lot and stuff.
No,
yeah.
No, she was fairly, it was still hard being the first, like not knowing what to expect.
Yeah.
But she was fine, so to say. And then when Thomas came along, she was so helpful, like having a girl first. I don't know parents that have had a boy first, if the boys are as helpful, but she wanted to help with the diapers and changing and giving him his toys. And Thomas slept. He was a good sleeper. I remember that. He was pretty easygoing. Maybe not so much when he got a little bit to toddler stage, but a baby, he was good. And then there was Nate.
Right. And so I don't know if any of you have babies like this. I'm trying to remember my 4 babies, and none of them were quite like Nate. Nate was, out of the 7 children that we've had, right? He's number 7. Yeah. And he for sure has been a challenge that way, right? And so do you want to explain kind of?
Yeah, he just, I don't know if this makes any sense to anybody, but I have a bit of mom guilt over him because the day he was born, I blame it on karma. And I know that's not a real thing, but in my mind it is that the day he was born, I cried and cried and cried because my cell phone got lost. Remember, you had come to the birth of Nate. She videoed it, which I didn't know. And then when
that's supposed to be a secret.
What?
That I was...
Oh, no. Oh, yeah. Anyways,
she won't see this.
No. She videotaped the birth and then put my phone down, and then I got to go to the shower.
I took lots of pictures and stuff too.
Right.
Yeah, videos, yep.
And then when I came
back. And I left.
Yes.
I left the phone, and I wasn't there anymore.
No, and I went to the shower and got clean because Nate came so bloody fast that there was no time for an epidural. And so I was able to get up right away and go have a shower, right? There's always pros to every con. And I came back and I was looking for my phone. I thought maybe she took it home, but she didn't. So when they cleaned up my bed, they had taken the phone, and it was gone forever. And so I was so upset because I was so excited about seeing this stuff that I didn't know had happened, that I just cried and cried and cried. And there's my baby Nate, and I'm like crying over a freaking cell phone. And so I know that makes no sense, but I was...
Oh, it totally makes sense, though, because your hormones are all out of whack, and everything is crazy, and yes, no, it's... Yeah.
Yep.
That's shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's bad. That's too bad.
So I was really upset. And then he
And we tried to find the phone, and you phoned, and you
Yeah.
tried to get laundry and all that
Yeah.
stuff. It was a B.C. Children's, probably somewhere still. If you have her video,
Give it back.
give it back. We want it.
I don't even care about anything else. I just wanted to see all that. And then,
Mhm.
yeah, so I was upset. And so then so that went on, and I got over it. But he just kind of, the other two kids were I was easily to hand off. Like Riley and Thomas, when we're at practices, right, I could hand off to a coach, or I could hand off to a mom. Like, they grew up in the gym, they were easygoing. But Nate only wanted me, and he did not want to be detached from me. And then that was 2012 when we had him, and we were really busy in work.
We had him.
We had him. We were
No.
busy. And, right, because that's when, and we used to work, a few employees would come to my house and work from my house. And so I feel like, and again, the mom guilt, that I didn't give him enough attention, because I was always like, 5 more minutes, I just need to finish this. 5 more minutes, I need to finish this. But he basically cried for the first 18 months of his life, nonstop, unless I was with him. And even if I was with him, he would still cry. Like, that wouldn't even help him to stop crying.
Yeah, it was rough. It was a tough time.
Yeah, I say it changed me forever. And I'm not sure.
Stronger?
I don't know.
Or not.
I don't know. But I definitely would not have a fourth after that.
But you're through it.
Yes. And he's so, like, and the thing is, he's so great. Like, he's so happy, and all he wants to do is kiss me and hug me, and he's lovey with his dad and his brothers and sisters, even though they don't want him to touch him.
See, yeah, so I have a theory about this, though, right? Because Katie, my fourth, didn't leave my side ever.
True.
Like,
She
she
did not
was
want to be
attached.
detached.
She didn't cry.
No.
She was super, like, chill, baby. But kind of chill, because if she wasn't around me,
Yes.
she would scream and cry and be very stubborn and all that kind of stuff. Like, I had to carry her,
Yeah.
right? All the time. And
Yeah.
she wouldn't let dad carry her. It was me. And so, although, like, this whole idea around attachment parenting and having your kids close to you, she now is super, like, independent. She's really friendly. I mean, not with strangers, but nor do I expect her to be. I'm pretty strong on the idea that, you know, if she doesn't want to talk to you as a stranger in an elevator or somewhere, then she doesn't have to. She doesn't have to say hi to you. She doesn't have to acknowledge you, because she doesn't know who you are, and she doesn't have to play that game of,
Oh, hi.
right,
Give that stranger a hug.
right, yeah. So I'm pretty, with her especially, my fourth, I was like, it's okay, you don't have to say hi. And I do that to mom. Like, if you see a mom and you say, and the kid doesn't respond, I think you should say, oh,
That's okay.
It's okay. Like,
Yeah.
you can't expect a kid that you don't know to respond to you.
No.
But that's like with Nate too. Like, now Nate is at school and in preschool. He's super independent and all of that. So I think that time with us when they're little, that idea of attachment parenting and them building that connection and that bond to you pays off in the long run, because
I agree. And I don't think I would necessarily change that for anything.
change the crying.
Yeah, maybe I haven't cried so much,
Yeah.
but, like, I mean, I come from some members in my life who think that, you know, there is too much. You can give a child too much love. You can hold a child too much. You could pay attention to a child too much. And I fully disagree, right? Like, could you imagine if I left him and didn't?
Yeah.
Like,
although the crying thing,
Yeah.
this is a tip and a trick, is that idea about the clock that I shared with you once.
Yes.
Do you want to share that?
Yes.
Because it's a helpful tip for those of you with new babies.
Especially when you're driving, is about, right, looking at the clock and seeing how long they're crying for. And so I don't live in Richmond. I live in North Delta. And so driving in and to from work is usually just about 20 minutes if there's no traffic. Because sometimes, you know, the Oxford Bridge is backed up and there's traffic. But Nate would cry in the car. And so looking at the clock, just look at this time he starts crying. And then, right, a baby crying for a minute sometimes feels like an hour. And so if you know that it only is 10 minutes of crying, it's not, that 10 minutes doesn't seem as long as you think that they really are crying.
Yeah.
Like,
and it was even for, like, bedtime. I think I tried sleep training I think it was Nicholas that I tried to do the whole cry it out thing, which was a big disaster. What was it, the book, the No Cry Sleep Solution book?
Oh, yeah.
Did you read that
I
one?
didn't read that.
No. That one was better, but the cry it out method or whatever, I tried using the clock to, like, oh, it's only 5 minutes or whatever, because it does seem like forever, and it just it hurts you to the core when your baby cries.
Yes.
It hurts so much.
It does.
So that's a clock. That's a little tip. If you're in the car, like look at the clock, or if you're at home and they're crying, like the 2 minutes it takes you to take your shower or to go to the bathroom, if they're in a safe place where they're not going to fall out of a crib or something like that, then it's not the end. It's okay. And that's coming from two moms who, try not to let their babies cry almost ever. And
right.
So,
I feel there's not a need to do that.
Yes.
To let your child cry.
Yes.
But I know that I'm not like most people.
Yes. I've had a couple of people ask me about potty training and about sleep training and things like that as well. So we'll talk about those in future videos as well.
Yes.
And so that's kind of us. That's like our story, right? 2 moms, 7 kids. I've been married. We're both married to 2 husbands who are awesome parents as well and help us out. And so
we're fully engaged. We're lucky that way that our parents are. I mean, I know your husband works a lot.
Yeah, yours too. So I mean, I think if you have a husband who works a lot, which I can relate to, it was really hard with my first 2 because, like, in a week of 5 days of a work week, 2 of those nights it'd be an 11 o'clock coming home, 10, 11 o'clock. Maybe 2 of those nights would be a 7, 8 o'clock coming home, and then maybe 1 of those 5 days would be like a 6 o'clock coming home time of day for him. So it was me on my own I was lucky. I had my mom and my mother-in-law who helped with childcare and things like that. But when it was just you, all day and that long, it's a lot. It's really hard.
And my husband works nights, so he either worked the graveyard shift,
sleeping.
Yeah, and so we all get more. I feel like more emotional at nighttime because you're tired already. Well, I get emotional all the time, but at nighttime, you're already been with them all day, and then not to have any. Not that you need help at nighttime, but that's that. Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're lucky. That's my point. That we have husbands that are involved and do as much as we need them to do. Or want them to.
Yeah, but the reality is, I don't know if you're like me, that first baby, I didn't let him touch her.
Yeah, true.
So I was like, it was my first baby, and I took it 100%. It was really, really hard for me to relinquish any kind of control to my mother, to my mother-in-law. I went back to work when she was 9 months old, and we laugh about this now. But we had a journal that was on the table, and the journal,
I remember that.
Yes, I made them, both of them, write down every meal, when she went to sleep, when she woke up, what she ate, so that when I got home from work, I could kind of have a look to see what the day was. And now I'm like, whatever, with the 4th. Whatever happens at grandma's house happens at grandma's house, and I don't want to know about it.
Yeah.
But when didn't let hubby help much.
I guess you're right. Couple. I'm thinking more now as they're older.
Yes, it gets much easier. Yes. Dads are are awesome for when they're older. And I think that's why when I had my 4th, I talked about in one of my blog posts how after Katie was born, I did take for the first time, because I had 4 C-sections, the 4th one, I actually did stay kind of in my bed. I let myself heal a lot better. And because he could take the other 3, right? Because Zach would have been 4.
No, 3.
So I had like a 3-year-old, a 7-year-old, and a 9-year-old, right? So they were easy to get out of the house, and he could take the 3 of them and go do it. And I was able to just have Katie with me and try and get through nursing and sleeping and all of that. Whereas with the first few, we were back at preschool I was carrying that car seat, and we were driving, even though you're not supposed to. Because I had a bit of that mentality, like, I can do it all kind of thing.
Well, and then the hard part, though, is, I nursed all 3 kids. And, I nursed Nate till he was, 15 months old. The other 2 till they were 9 or 10 months old, because then they stopped themselves. And they wouldn't take a bottle. Right? So I was the sole provider of food, which I'm not complaining about, because I loved every hard minute of it. But I love that. And
it wasn't as hard for you, though. Nursing was pretty easy. I would say, and again, and that everybody's different. I just had a really hard time with it. Yeah, my boobs were not good for nursing. I don't know. It was tough. And so some people had, Dawn was pretty straightforward after the initial, obviously, engorgement and the cracked nipples and all of that kind of stuff that comes along that everybody kind of goes through. Yeah. Mastitis, right? I think everybody has batch of that, 1 or 2 things where that they have to deal with that. But some of you, and probably more like me, where it took a long time. Like I had the tube going down and the syringes and everything.
That's a lot of work.
It was a lot. It was a lot of work. It was a lot of work. But you can read my blog post about that on nursing. But again, I wouldn't have changed it. And I nursed once it got established, it was good to go. But I also used bottles with Katie. I said, screw it. I'm not pumping, because that just messed up with my milk supply. I felt like it was just way too much work. So with Katie, I just used formula right from the beginning. Like not right from the beginning, but once nursing was established, I used formula, and so people could help. I think that's what I remember. Like I feel like that was easier for me, the 4th one.
Well, I wanted to.
Yeah, I know.
Wanted somebody to look after. I don't want to be able to leave her home.
And then you got to pump if you have to.
Yeah. Right? But no, that's what that was. Okay.
Well, then that's our story.
Yes.
I hope that was fun.
That was roundabout. Sorry.
It was. That's who we are. That's what's going on. This whole idea of lazy parenting was something that I just kind of went forward and did without really telling you.
Oh, no, that's okay.
We have somebody coming in.
Thomas, can you just get some in? Okay.
Come get your blueberries.
Yeah.
Where was I?
Oh, you were saying that you decided to do this?
Oh,
it's kind of new, because remember we always joke about her making this book about all these tips and tricks, and she's like recently talked about being the lazy parent and how it's so much,
that kind of idea just kind of came to me, because it does get easier, and I feel like I'm through I don't know, teenagehood. People tell me that teenagers are crazy and it's hard.
Well, you're lucky.
So far, it's going well. I have a girl, my oldest is going to grade 11. I have a grade 10, and then grade 7, and then it'll be grade 4. And so just the idea that kids can stay home and help take care of things, and I'm not schlepping the kids everywhere I go, all the babies and all the gear. Life has gotten pleasantly more under control. So there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And then having lots of kids in that way, when I talk about being a lazy parent, like it is like the house runs, people do stuff, because it had to happen. I don't know if you're a parent of one, how easily it translates to being able to do that with one child. I kind of think it does, though. Like, again, it shouldn't all be you. It would drive you nuts, I feel like. But and so the idea of lazy parenting was my kind of catchphrase. I liked it. I thought it was, I thought I am a lazy parent. Today I woke up at 5:30, but I stayed in bed till 8:30 working on my computer. But like everybody got themselves up, everybody got dressed, went to swim practice, ate breakfast.
Well, and I feel like in this day and age, right, like that doesn't happen so much. Like kids getting themselves ready, next week I'm away. I'm going to a conference, and I was talking to another mom at school about that my oldest and my youngest, so my daughter going to grade 7 and my son who's going to grade 1, will walk to school together because their camp is at school 2 of the days, and someone offered to drive them. And I'm not saying she offered because she didn't think that they should walk to school, but like, God, she's going to grade 7. She should be able to walk to school. And so should the kindergarten. I used to walk to school in kindergarten, grade 1, and I was the oldest out of 2. So, it'll be fine.
Yeah, I think it depends on where you live in the neighborhood schools and what the safety factor is in regards to streets and and you can't, part of the piece I feel sometimes is missing is you can't expect them to be able to do it if you haven't taught them how to do it. And my son is really good at reminding me about this. Like if I say, you didn't do something, he's like, well, you never, I don't know how. Like I forget that you have to like actually teach them how to do it. Like whether it's, I don't know, like the dishwasher or something like that. Well, I don't know how to wash this pan. Like, can you or clean up? I don't know. I can't think of a good example of it right now, but they have to be taught. So expecting them to be able to walk to school if you've never actually gone to the crosswalk and said, okay, well, this is the button. Yeah. This is how you look. And if that's not a part of your daily life up to that point, then it's hard to expect them to go into it all at once too, right? So if you never walked with your kids to school and talked about all these things for the 3 years before they get into grade 4, and then now they're ready to walk to school, if you've been driving them the whole time, that's kind of hard, right? They won't know what to do. So I feel like I went off on a tangent there.
Right, because I was trying to say that getting the kids to do things for themselves.
Oh,
right.
That's a different. Yeah, people are a bit more.
Some people
wanting to do it than all them.
Right. Some parents have a hard time letting go of the control because, again, me putting on Thomas's shoes because he's very stubborn about putting his shoes on to school when he was younger. Right. Will take a second, and him doing it will take half an hour. And so, is it worth the fight, or is it worth him knowing how to put his shoes on?
And I think that ultimately is the whole gist behind lazy parenting, not really being lazy. So the idea that the time and effort it takes to get them to do the stuff in the beginning pays off, though, if you can do it in the end. So yes, it takes a longer time to, or the natural consequences, if you don't have your shoes on, then you don't go with your shoes, or whatever those consequences are. I was going to do a post about that whole time issue because it takes forever, right? But if you do end up taking it and putting their jacket and zipping it up for them, then they're never taking responsibility. Yeah. And so it is really about hard work at the beginning to be eventually have the ability to be a lazy parent by teaching them all of those things at the beginning. Yeah. And it's hard because we're in a rush as well, right?
Yes. Yes, I feel there's a rush. Do it somewhere.
So then you got to wake up at 4 a.m. Just so you can get out of the house by 8.
Right.
Sometimes that's what it takes. Okay, well, that's it. We're done. Thank you for joining us. I will be back with her next week. We're going to do this on Thursdays, I think.
Okay.
And then I'm going to take I have some other people that I might like to chat with. And so if you are a mom who would like to join me on a Facebook Live and have a question or something that you want to talk about, then I can figure out how to do that. We can either do that through a split screen, or we can arrange to get together for a coffee or a frappuccino and do it together on live. So please like, share, enjoy the video. If you watch it later, make sure you comment. I'll come back and I'll try and answer any questions that you might have. Okay. Thanks, Dawn.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
Bye.